your source for everything paranormal. Para X. The views expressed and the opinions given by the individual host and their guests do not necessarily reflect those of Para X, its affiliates, or its sponsors.
Supernatural. Magic. Ghosts. UFOs. Bigfoot. Extraterrestrial. Psychic energy.
The calling.
And good evening, everyone, and how you doing? Waiting for an answer.
Good.
Oh, wow. Was that movie? What's up, Kimberly Juarez?
What's up, Jerry?
Not much.
Not much here either, except for the storms.
I know. It's starting to roll in pretty good.
I know. We have like darkness over here. And the sky was red today.
Yep. It's like darkness, Dave, darkness.
Yeah.
That's dark.
That's dark. Yeah. It is. So how's it going?
Good. How about you?
Good.
Good. All right. Well, thanks, everybody, for tuning in. And now, how was your weekend? That was a lot of fun, didn't we have?
Yeah, we did have fun, actually. We really did.
Kim and I. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, adventurous. It was adventurous.
It was Kim and I and other members of the Minnesota Para Connection did an investigation in Walcott and at a pizza place in Faribault. That the pizza place was pretty incredible. You know, I was very shocked by that.
Yeah, so was I.
Yeah, it was funny is because the pizza place, back when we first went there and stuff, as a matter of fact, it was Steph and I and you and one of your kids, right?
Right.
Went a long time ago. And they told us that in the basement that there was a grave of their great-grandmother. And we found out later that that is not true.
Nope.
That was something that was started by one of the people that, the people that own the place and stuff. Right. And that's about it that they told us about it. So anyway, then we went there a couple, 3-4 weeks ago as a team, the Minnesota Para Connection, and sat down. We were going to eat. We brought up the fact of it, and then that's when they told us the truth, that no, there was no grave there, and told us that the side of the building where they have extra seating for people, it was actually a funeral parlor at one time, and they allowed us to go down in the basement. So then on Saturday we did the investigation of it, and it was pretty cool. It was we did have some things that were unexplainable happen, and still got to go through. Went through my body cam. Now here's another thing. I didn't tell you this, Kim, but one of my body cams. Do you remember when we got to Walcott and Katie was with us? Yeah. And I have to be honest, guys. My legs have not totally healed yet, so trying to get up even a small hill, I can't do it. And stepping over trees and stuff, my balance and everything else, it can't be done. And there was tons of trees that had blown over from the storms, past storms and stuff. Right. So that kept me from doing anything. So anyway, I had a body cam on like I always do. And I told Katie, I said, hey, do you want to take the body cam? She's like, sure. When I put it on her, this is the weirdest thing. In that area, it happens every single time, but it just there. if all of a sudden the video and the speech are no longer together anymore. It only happens in that certain area. Yeah. So, she's talking and stuff, and other people are coming on up, and like you were in the line of sight one time, and you would speak, and then we wouldn't hear what you said for at least a minute or two.
Wow.
So it's always right there when you're going up the hill, going into the big building. And it was just absolutely nuts. And so I went through the whole thing, and now it works just fine. So I'm kind of curious if that's going to happen again.
Yeah. That's interesting.
Nuts. Yeah, but I didn't find anything on the body cam there, but at the pizza places where I found some things that we will be having the Minnesota Para Connection on the next couple weeks, and with all the evidence and stuff, and we'll give Sarge the EVPs to play, because there was no video of anything moving or anything like that.
Right.
And it's kind of funny is that me, I've always got to crack jokes all the time. And, it's kind of fun. But some people take it very seriously. I'm not going to tell you which member on the Minnesota Para Connection takes things very seriously. But you remember when we were down there and I said, that's water running, right? And somebody said, yeah. I said, okay, maybe someone's tinkling. What about you? And then I said the person's name. And on the video, they gave me the coldest, hardest look.
Really?
Oh, my God, it's all about having fun and stuff like that. So crazy. I see Shawnakins is in the chat room. And as a matter of fact, there was a young man that I was talking to not too long ago, True Dragon God. It's kind of interesting. I am going to mention him because he did see the show that Steph and I did a while back on the Travel Channel. And it's making its way around again because I guess Steph got some people interested in some things that happened. But he mentioned the EVP and asked, are you, can we hear that, what you guys got? And we talked briefly before the show, but then I had to go. You know me, I am not good at multitasking.
Multitasking, exactly.
Yeah. So I had to go, but I'm going to put it on there so that he can listen to it and others can listen to it too. Because the one on the show is crystal clear, and it's a made-up thing.
Yeah.
And but it's the one that we got for there is pretty darn close to the best Class A EVPs I've ever had ever found. And it was pretty crazy because it was so funny that when we got that, I had forgot to turn on my voice recorder the first time we went to Walcott, which was Jeff and Mike with another team and Stephanie and I with Sim. And all of a sudden I turned it on and we're kind of talking for a little bit. And I said, well, maybe we should go to the other building. And Steph's like, well, why should we go there? I said, because there's another building, And as we were leaving, I just said, Steffi, why? And then as we walked out the door, loud and clear, this little girl says, what about me? And it's insane.
That's crazy.
It's just insane. It was one of the coolest EVPs. And when we listened to that and we heard that, it was like, okay, we definitely need this. And I forgot to say hello to Steve B. And there's a Meow Mix selling in the chat room too. So that's pretty good. And Steffi. There's Steffi.
Shauna. Yep.
Yep.
Everybody's. So it was a little girl who said what about me? So like she's following you guys, right? Is that how you? take it?
Well, the way I'm taking it is that we left that building, and when we left that building, she wanted to know, because we were leaving that, and she was like, "What about me?" Now, I don't believe it was Emily, because we've gotten EVPs from Emily and from Elizabeth,
Right.
and I do believe that that was Elizabeth because of the way the voice was. I'm almost positive. It was. Yep, Dragon, I'm talking about you. But yeah, it was crazy. No EVP. The EVP won't be on tonight. It'll be on Supernatural Investigators of Minnesota Facebook page tomorrow. Yep, this is Walcott, Larry. Yep, definitely Walcott. You've been there. Pretty much all of us have been there. So,
Right.
yeah, it's an incredible place. But this time when we went there, did you feel anything?
You know that one area that we went to, I felt kind of like, because I kept, we were walking the trail and everything, and I kept hearing, like, I heard a man talking, and it was like on my right-hand side, and I kept saying, "Did you hear that, Katie?" And she's like, "I heard something, like somebody talking." But as we're talking, we're going on this trail, and you could hear by ear somebody talking to us. And I know it wasn't you guys because the rest of the group was way ahead of us. I don't even think you were around us, or you were, but on the opposite side. There was no way you were on by me. You weren't even close to me.
I went right back to the car. I mean, I couldn't do nothing.
Oh, that's right.
I was embarrassed and I was pissed. So I went back to the car, sat there playing baseball on my phone. But could it have been Russ with a C or?
No. They were already where they were supposed to be at, and me and Katie were just taking our time. We were looking at things through the woods, and we saw a bunch of different things, and we were just randomly. And I said, "Katie," and she turns around, she looks at me, I looked at her, and I'm like, "Did you hear that?" I go, "Did you hear that clear?" And she's like, "Yeah." She goes, "Do you know what they said?" And I said, "No, I have no," you could hear it though, the voice. So, and it was a male. You could totally hear him. So I just thought that was really odd. And you were by yourself, so there's no way you would have been talking to yourself. You know what I mean? You were way already past.
I'm a little nutty like that, but I mean, I'm way back at the car. That's a long way.
Yeah, that is a long way. So yeah.
Here's the thing is, and I know that a lot of people probably don't believe in it and stuff, but I did catch EVPs there by the cedar trees. I sat up by the cedar trees one time and listened for, because trees talk.
Right.
And I even had Stephanie listen to it and Katie listen to it, and they could hear it too, that trees do talk. Do you think it could have been trees or was too clear?
No, it was too clear because you could tell it was a male voice. And we really caught a really nice EVP down in that place where they were at. And I just thought, what if they were just even around us? There's so many, back then, there was so many people back then, and the place was huge at one point, and, well, not huge like, but still, that area it was populated at one point, and a lot of Native American, of course, of course, every piece of land out here probably has everything Native American related. Right. But I mean, it's just, I thought it was so odd because it was just like right there, and it was literally talking to us too, and it must have been answering us or something, because me and Katie were just talking away, didn't have a care in the world, just doing our own thing and walking that trail. And like I said, Russ and them were all the way already way past, they were doing their thing, and I was like, "Did you hear that, Katie?" And she's like, "Yeah." She goes, "I heard something." And I said, "It sounded like a male voice, right?" And she's like, "Yeah." So I don't know. So hopefully, I'll see. I haven't even gone through my stuff yet. I've been working, so I haven't even gone through mine. Right. But I'm kind of excited because just the little bit you guys caught was amazing. It's an amazing place. It's you just you can't mess up there. You really can't.
Right.
And if you want to hear something or see something, or it's bound to happen. I mean, it's not guaranteed, but it is bound to happen. I mean, every time we've gone up there, we've gotten some pretty good stuff. So. You know, So yeah.
That's true. Well, I tell you what, we're going to be playing. We got to have this done before the show so we can get all the EVPs together and play everything that we possibly have from there.
Yeah.
And see what happens,
Yeah.
See if we can do some good stuff in there.
Yeah, and Russ and Mark and Steph, they were able to go into like a area, and I just thought it was the awesomest thing ever, And
You thought it was awesome.
I thought it was awesome because I wanted to go too.
I was so upset.
I know, and I understand completely.
If you're going underground in something, one person.
It's crazy though, you guys.
Listen,
it was crazy.
No, let me talk. You're going into some place underground. You got to check it for snake holes.
Yeah.
You got to check it for for tracks or for dens and stuff. You just don't go willy-nilly sliding in like
it was awesome.
She just goes and slides in there
does.
and goes, "Eee!" And it's like, oh, fun and exciting, my butt. I'm worrying for all you guys. God, I'm a big dude. I could have a heart attack or something. You guys are going to send me there. Just leave me in the woods to rot. Let the animals feed on my carcass.
Oh, good Lord.
No, when we were talking about EVPs and you were talking about Walcott and Native and stuff, we caught an EVP woman, and you can actually hear the drumming. And it was singing. She was singing, and I brought it to the American Indian Center down off of Franklin in Minneapolis, South Minneapolis. And it was funny because the Ojibwe listened to it first, and the the guy right away went, "Nope, not us." And he just gave it back to me, and they didn't want to hear nothing more. They didn't want to discuss it. They said, that's got to be Dakota, or Lakota. So I went over to the Lakota tribe people, and they were doing their linguist, and they teach how to speak, and I let them listen to it. Now, the dude that's he's a drummer and everything else. He does a lot of drumming there and stuff. Now, he sat down and listened to it. Now, there was other people that were listening. Look at Larry. You are a molten volcano of testosterone. Wait, Larry, you're a god. So he listened to it, and he was excited about it. But the people that were around him, they just put their hands up and shook it right away, and they were like, nope, don't want to hear anymore. Yeah, and it was just that one thing. But he said it was a dialect that he wanted other people to study. So I gave him a copy of it and everything. And he, I did call him a couple of times, and he said, I can't find anybody that really knows exactly what she's singing about. Now, we did show it to when we went to Santee, Nebraska, and we showed it to the linguist there that was in the building, and he was supposed to get back to us, but this is horrible, and I am going to talk about it just briefly, and then I'm not going to talk about it again. But we would tell him what we want as an EVP, and then he would say it in Lakota. And it was going great. And then we decided to leave up there because nothing was happening. We left Simi, who was loaded down with equipment to record, and he wanted a moment because he wanted to talk to the Great Mystery, himself. Yep. And he did. And in the video that was going and stuff, he started crying, and he was a very large man, very tall man and stuff. And once Dwayne Whipple said that something happened with him, and I sent Dwayne that, and he was going to have someone take a look at it. And I guess the guy was talking to the Great Mystery about what he had done. And it was bad. and he's in prison right now for what he had done. And so he was confessing everything that happened and stuff. So I'm not going to tell any more than that. It was pretty bad, but yeah, it was an incredible time. That was in Santee, Nebraska, at the Sioux headquarters.
Okay.
Yeah, in the what do they call it? The Birdhouse School.
Mm-hmm.
It was an intense investigation, just intense. It was crazy, but anyway, it was pretty nuts. But anyway, so we should go and talk about what we were going to talk about on the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
That's right. There's a topic.
Yeah, let's do that, huh? So tonight's show is, can spirits really be contacted by ghost box, Ouija boards, and Ovilus, etc., etc.,
and etc.
Yeah, you got to have three. You got to say it one more time.
Etc.
There you go. Okay. So you always got to say it in threes. But anyway, so Kim, I know you believe in using some of this stuff, and you have some of them on your phone too, right?
No.
Oh, you don't?
Oh, I don't do that.
Okay, some people. Okay, now this, I guess I'm going to start out first with the phone things. When people have phone apps, and they think, "Oh, that's great to use." As paranormal, there's Ghost Radar, there's all sorts of other ones. It is not good to use it. Why is that? Is because I worked for T-Mobile for 11 years, and your phone is going to pick up EMFs from very far away. So using these apps on your phone should be shut off. It shouldn't be it shouldn't be something that you should use. Shauna, the phone apps. Yeah, you're right. You're right. They should not be used. They're a terrible thing, and what they're going to do is they're just going to mess with what could be real.
Right.
So you could have a REM pod sitting there, and you could be 20, 30 feet away. It could still pick up your cell phone.
Yeah,
and people are like, there's no possible way. It's too far away. Really? It's too far away? Bluetooth can be up to 40 to 50 feet away before it's not picking up on the receiver part of it from the phone. You're miles away from a cell tower, which is picking up your signal. So it's causing EMF. So these Oviluses and everything else can actually pick that up.
Right.
That's on your phone. So what should you do with your phone? Turn it off.
Don't bring it.
Bring it, yeah. And not just, just put it on, what do they call it? Flight mode?
Yep. Flight mode.
Yeah. No,
Airplane
turn
mode.
it off because it's still got a battery there.
Yeah.
Your EMF, your K2 meter, your EMF detector, certain equipment can still pick that stuff up. So turn off the phone, put it away.
Right.
Put it away, and, you don't have to call little Johnny down the road. Oh, my God, dude, I'm in this place and everything, and it's, like, really scary. Thought I'd call and tell you.
Well, and that's the first thing you should do anyways is to, like, even if you do carry it, because I know some people feel they have to carry it or whatnot. I mean, as a team, we try not to take our phones with us for the same reason, because it does interrupt, So, and I've taken my phone, like, I have one phone that has no connection to the internet, but I use it to take pictures real quick or whatnot, and then I'll turn it off and not use it. You know what I mean? Because I still think it connects in some way, even though it doesn't. I just use it for the camera part of it. So, and it's not connected to Wi-Fi, and it can't because it's not on at all. So, but my regular phone, yes, that can be connected. So, so I turn those off, or one person will carry one phone just in case of an emergency. So yes, I do agree on that part. A lot of the apps too, I think sometimes it can, it's a phone, it can hear you talk. I think it'll relate to whatever you're trying to say. Are you the ghost? Are you this? Are you the spirit? I think it would relate in a sense. Just like, I don't know. I've never really used them. I just don't care for them. And I know people are diehards for them. They really like them. And
Right.
I'm just a little on the cautious side about them, just
Right.
because it comes from a phone and it comes from the internet and it comes from,
Right.
that's the
Right.
only thing I'm a little bit. So no, I do not use apps. Nope.
Right. Well, here's Steph said, I think airplane mode is okay, but this is my opinion. Shauna says, I think airplane mode is okay. She said that she's done it, tested it with airplane mode, and I haven't got any adverse reactions. No
Okay.
Wi-Fi, no Bluetooth, and in airplane mode. Then anything would affect any equipment. Yes, it actually still can, because your phone is designed to keep looking for
Yep.
connection. So your phone is still got some electricity. Now, if you even just getting buzzing when you're talking on your when you're talking and you got a voice recorder going, and sometimes you can hear that like that, that's actually your phone. It's picking up your battery. That stuff can happen. Some people are going to think that it's like EMF and stuff like that. No, it's actually not. It is EMF, but it's still coming from a person's phone. That's why the best thing is, if you're going to investigate someone, if you're going to investigate, it's the best thing to do, especially, is to completely just don't even have it. You don't need a phone. Walkie-talkies, oh my God, can they ever give up?
Oh, yeah.
EMFs and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
You accidentally touch the button, you got that do-do-do-do-do, thing going off, and, that will scare the bejeebs out of you and everything else. No, not turn off your location, turn off your damn phone. There, I said it. Airplane mode, turns off your location, but your phone is still trying to find a location. So there. But anyway, is what pilots and hospitals ask you to do. Okay, that's not paranormal investigators. Just leave it behind. I mean, you don't need it, And walkie-talkies, the only time I would think that someone would need it, I think that they need to, if someone's going to carry a walkie-talkie, they need to stand away from everybody when they're investigating. I mean, because if you're having a couple of large groups, you got to make sure you have something there for safety,
right?
And stuff, and that's good. You do need a point of contact, especially if you're in a private home out in the middle of nowhere. Private home. I mean, do what I do. I carry a .357 Magnum. So something goes wrong, then you can go out to the car, turn on your phone, and call 911 after the fact. But anyway, and walkie-talkies, there's so many times that I've accidentally bumped the button something, and oh my God, it's like.
Well, when you see the walkie-talkie and you're talking, and all of a sudden you'll see your K2 going every time that person's talking back and forth to you. So I always tell them, where do you have your walkie at? I always tell the group.
Yeah.
So, yep, that is so true. You can't really even think
also
that.
too, with walkie-talkies, I mean, you may not be talking on it yourself, but it may be picking somebody up that is talking, just happen to be on that same channel.
Right.
That you don't even know them,
Right.
So then you're trying to get a date, Hey, who's this on there? What do you look like? Stuff like that. But anyway, weird. But okay, so I like K2 meters. I like using those. To me, they're great for communications. That's what I think they're good for. EMF detectors. are great for wiring problems in somebody's home. A lot of like a K2 liter can't, a K2 meter can't really measure to a exact amount that you can with an EMF detector. Because there's a lot of times, like you can go into someone's home and say, okay, it's coming from your alarm clock. Alarm clocks are a big one, especially if it's next to someone's head while they're sleeping.
Right.
Those can give off huge amounts of EMF, and that can really screw up a good investigation and stuff. Or actually, that can actually be the thing that a person is seeing things. Because it's messing with their head while they're sleeping. Right. Headaches, bloody noses, they're sick. That kind of stuff can happen. But anyway, so, okay, let's go past this. Good. Turning the page. Ready? Lick my finger, and there it goes. Okay. Travis, if you need a firearm, Jerry, do more investigation in your location. Yeah, any location I go into is my location. Yeah, like
I think it's
K2.
break time, Jerry. Is it break time?
Is it break time?
Yes,
Oh my
it is.
God, it is. That went by really quick. Okay, folks, we'll be right back in about 2 minutes.
If you're looking for a truly unique podcast experience, we have you covered. Spirit Bayou with CJ Dunham airs live from the Third Coast in Southeast Texas on Tuesday and Fridays at midnight Eastern Time, covering Creole folklore and folk magic to strange paranormal activity to new equipment for the field. CJ Dunham is a Catholic swamp witch, a devotee to our Mother Mary and the Trinity, a true believer in our Lord, the Holy Ghost, and Christ. Peace be with your spirit and the spirits by you.
Hey Heidi, have you listened to The Calling lately? Why, yes, Steph, I have. It's really good. Have you? Absolutely. It's what I would say is a wild and woolly affair. So does that mean it's a wild and woolly Wednesday show? Well, I definitely think that's true. So you know we listen, since The Calling is the sibling show to our show, The Gathering. Listen to The Calling radio show with Jerry and Kimberly Wednesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on the Para X Radio Network.
Dead Zone. I want to give a huge shout out to Shauna and congratulations on her new podcast, Exploring the Paranormal Perspective. You'll hear some amazing guests like me, paranormal and true crime stories, and more. Catch her Wednesdays at 8 Central on the Para X Radio Network.
Your source for everything paranormal. Para X.
And we're back. This is Jerry with The Calling, along with Kimberly Juarez. And hey, if you missed the first half and you're wondering, what in the heck is Jerry talking about now? Well, I'll tell you what, you can find it tomorrow. We'll have it on www.thecallingradioshow.com. Plus, we'll have it on our YouTube channel, The Calling Radio Show. And hey, Para X has tons of really cool shows on. Like right after us, I totally forget what the name of your show is, Shauna, and I forget every week, so I just say Geeks Paranormal. So, I'm trying to advertise, so just kill me. Okay, get it over with. But then we have other shows too, like we have The Gathering, which is on every Tuesday night, starting at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, only on the one and only ParaXRadioNetwork.com. And for you that don't know it, I was actually on The Gathering last night. Yep, I actually used my sexy voice. I did.
Okay.
You want to hear it?
Oh, let's hear it, Jerry.
No, you're going to have to, listen to that show, because that show will also be on the Calling Radio Show, and on YouTube starting tomorrow too. So let's see. Did you enjoy your K2 meter? I love my K2 meter. Meter, not leader, meter. It's awesome. And it's a lot of fun. Let's see. Okay, so we were talking about, like, I don't know, a lot of people like to use Ouija boards when they investigate.
Right. So
go ahead.
So we're talking like conjuring, like when you're using Ouija boards. I mean, do you guys believe that the spirits can stay? You know, can they? And it's other devices too, as well as a Ouija board. Pendulums can also be one of a conjuring type of device that can cause that. Correct?
Okay, hold on a second.
Okay.
So I did some research on Ouija boards.
Okay.
There is a place that's called Vox, and they talk about how Ouija boards work. Hint,
Okay.
It's not ghosts.
Okay.
So Ouija boards, they say it's not that time of year, the season, when paranormal entities come out to play. But if you're thinking about grabbing a Ouija board for your next conversation with the other side, you may want to think again. Despite their long history as hoax spiritualist devices turned into hit toys, turned the tools of the devil. Ouija boards won't actually put you in contact with demons or spirits or any scary firsthand reports. You might hear or read of real-life Ouija board horror stories are exaggerations, false claims, or misunderstanding of how Ouija board actually works. And so they go on and talk about now this is what I didn't know. I'm very surprised with this, and I did more research on this too. So they said if you've ever used a Ouija board, the concept is pretty straightforward. With a group or by yourself, you place your hands lightly on a triangular pointer called a planchette. The planchette rests on the board itself, which has the words yes, no on the top corners, an alphabet in the center, and word goodbye at the bottom. The idea is to summon a spirit you want to communicate with, and they'll move the planchette around the board to spell out answers to the questions you ask until they or you finally say goodbye and the spirits go back to wherever they came from. It sounds pretty harmless. The dangerous occult gateways that can lead to a demon possession are worse. That's when people don't do the goodbye to shut it down. This is what they're claiming. So, in fact, there's a simple scientific explanation. The mystery mechanism that powers the Ouija board is called the, I'm going to blow it, ideomotor effect.
Okay.
It's basically a way of saying your body to talk to itself. The ideomotor effect is an example of unconscious, involuntary physical movement. That is, we move what we're not trying to move. If you've ever noticed or experienced the sudden feeling of jerking while asleep, known as hypnic jerk, you're experienced a little more abrupt version of the ideomotor effect, your brain signaling your body to move within your conscious awareness. The obvious difference is that the ideomotor effect happens when you're awake. So the reflective or your movements you make are much smaller. So it's your hands that are moving the board. And when you notice it, that's when your brain is allowing your hands to move without even you knowing about it. It's all done unconsciously.
Unconsciously, yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, I mean, just curious, what do people think about that? Let's see. Let's see here. Did you? Okay, wait a minute. Go on. Oh, disclaimer. That's it is a disclaimer, as each commercial with each drug. Okay, but no, it's that is kind of a thing. I could see that happening. Because I mean, there is a lot of things that happen. It's like paranoia. Yeah, you spell what your subconscious wants you to say. Exactly. That's a big thing on that. So go ahead, Kimmy. I'm sorry. I kind of
no. It's
I wanted to get that in.
No, it's just that. No, I can agree with that, because it's like when you're all together and all of a sudden you're like, did you move that? No, did you move that? You know what I mean? So, and everybody gets so hyped up because they're like, oh my gosh, it just spelled blah, 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 and oh my God, what is it? Could that be a demon? Are you a demon? So they get the more they see, and then they're all excited. So they're moving that thing like crazy, they're moving the pendulum like crazy. So yeah, I could see that happening in a sense,
Right.
So yeah, so
movie. She just. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Nope. Go ahead.
Oh, I just to say, movie said no. Said no Ouija board for me, and I said me either, just in case.
Yeah, exactly, because you just don't want to conjure things up. So now the other thing is, so what about okay, so we talked about the Ouija board. What about spirit boxes and portal boxes?
Go for it.
I think, okay, I didn't do any research. I gave Jerry the idea, but I didn't do a lot of research. But I do watch a lot of these things that people sit there and will talk about these portal boxes and stuff like that. So to me, I mean, can you be conjuring? Like you go into the Valeska, the axe murder house here in Iowa. You go into that place and people are literally conjuring with spirit boxes and the Ovilus and stuff like that. I mean, to me, it's like you're bringing in all these different spirits and not even asking, we only want to talk. To me, I sit there and say, I only want to talk to spirits that are around this house or in this house. And some people are conjuring spirits, we want to talk to the spirits, and to me it's like bringing in everybody. You're welcoming everybody around that house or whatever, and then you end up leaving it because you're on a portal, and maybe something was said oh, it's the devil or something, and then all of a sudden you turn it off because you don't want to hear it no more. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I mean, can that conjure it? Can these things, these boxes and devices, can they conjure these spirits and they end up staying there? Is it the same as a spirit box? I mean, a spirit board.
I kind of believe that, I really do. I don't believe in, again, certain apps and stuff that you can get, ghost radar and stuff. There's actually little things that you can buy that, that are, what do they call it? Standalone devices.
Right.
That, kind of pick that stuff up. And I just don't believe that stuff actually really works.
Right.
I think it's there because, it picks up what a person says, and then if you move, could sound like, and so then it'll say that. Mm-hmm. I'm not really big on an Ovilus.
Right. Yeah, I know quite a few people that do not like the Ovilus. I have the Ovilus, and we rarely use it. And let me tell you, it cost us, it was about $500. And yep, we spent it, and it's probably the newest Ovilus. But the thing is that on that part, I mean, I never realized or actually, I mean, they can literally hear could it be listening to what you're saying? You know what I mean? And Bill Chappell is the one that makes the Ovilus, and I mean, can it, hear you talking, and then you're talking about the history, and then all of a sudden these different words come in cowboy, or because you're talking about an old West story or whatever, and then all of a sudden cowboy, horses, all of a sudden there's these words that are kind of the same. I'm like, what? Sometimes I'm like, okay, I don't know about that,
Right.
So these things are a little, it's hard to kind of figure out. It really is. And I don't like to use them for very long for the same reason is I don't want things to come in that don't belong there. You know what I mean? So I try not to use them so much. And I know that you are when you're just literally asking for spirits to come around or talk to you or whatnot. So I know you are, but at the same time, it's like, it's kind of hard to regulate these things. Now, the other thing is, now the people who make these devices, like Bill Chappell, Steve Huff, what do you think about these guys? I mean,
I don't.
I know
really,
you don't.
I don't.
There's some people I know you don't care for, and I'm not going to say it. Right. I really like that person. But then again, he's making these spirit boxes. He's making and there's tons of people who make these boxes.
Well, the Mel meter. The Mel meter was made because the guy's daughter, whose name was Melissa,
right?
And
I
he
really like
wanted
that story.
and he wanted to find her and be able to talk with her and stuff. And it's a sad story, and I'd really like to believe it. And everything, but so far, I mean, Steph had one, Heidi had one, I had one, we all had them out one time, and each one of them had different temperatures on it. Okay. And EMF would be totally different on all three of them. So, I mean, who's to say that is going to be real then if you're getting three different things on it? Now, one thing that I really liked was the EDI machines.
Oh gosh, I love my
EDIs are an all-in-one.
Yeah.
And since it's being an all-in-one, there's not three devices there where someone could pick up something from another one and stuff like that and cause it to go off. So I do like the EDI machine, but I was going to write down that the things that I truly believe in, a good voice recorder, and Sony, it doesn't have to be $1 million.
Nope.
A K2 meter, I do like that. K2 meter depends upon how you use them, because we did have, as a matter of fact, on when we had the we had that what about me go off at Walcott. We were able to talk to a girl named Emily, and Emily, whenever we called them, the older boys came around, the mean ones, Emily would whisper, and we knew it was her because there was always signals that she would give us to make sure it was her. And she would talk with it was weird because when Emily was around, I would ask questions and she would do it. As a matter of fact, Larry was there once when Emily had contacted me, and when the bad boys came, she went down to a whisper, and that was barely moving the second light. Yeah. But she would I would say, do it 3 times. And she'd bing, bing, bing. I mean, it was precise. She knew what was happening and stuff. It was an incredible thing. So K2 voice recorder. And when it comes to, what else was there? I like the old Sony Handycams that you could get. I mean, the old ones from in the 80s and
boxes.
Stuff.
Yeah, they look like boxes.
They look like boxes, and they have the real infrared on there. Right. And the real infrared were pretty crazy. Yeah. They could see right through clothing. Yeah. And anyway, so
the thing is, I want to go back real quick, Jerry. You know what I thought was really cool at Walcott when we had our K2 meters? I think there was 6 of us standing in a circle. And remember that at the children's graveyard, at the children's gravesite? And we all were in a circle, and the K2s, we asked the children if they were there, if they were around, and can you turn these devices on? And literally one by one would turn on, and they stay on, which was awesome. And once we told them thank you, they'd stop. And then they would go back on, like you asked, do you want me to sing? They wouldn't go on.
Oh my God.
Do you remember that? That was so great. I thought
Now,
it was so good.
here's the crazy thing about that is that Kim's daughter, Jasmine, has a beautiful singing voice. And she was singing, and the K2 meter, all K2 meters were going crazy.
Yes, they were.
And then I sang, and they were dead silent.
Yeah,
And
they wouldn't
all
go
of us
back
had
on.
we all had our K2 meters out. And I asked, is there a certain person here you'd like to hear them sing again? The only K2 meter that went off was Jasmine's. And it was all lights. And I mean, we had all of ours next to each other. So it was, that was extremely amazing.
Yeah,
so that's why I really do believe in them. And, you know, especially if, you know, a spirit's hands can be, you know, close.
Right.
Or, you know, even if the hands are close, that certain ones can go off. When the day that, that TV show, what it's about and everything was about when I got attacked at Walcott, it started out where just my K2 was going off, and that's when I could feel just like, butterflies is what it felt like, you know, around my diaphragm. And it was like, wow, you know, this was really weird. And then I started provoking even more. And then it felt like claws were just shredding me. And I remember everybody telling me, you know, come on, you know, pull yourself out. And it's like, no, I wanted to see what was going to happen then, you know. Right. I never did hit the ground like it showed in the TV show and stuff. I actually went out and grabbed onto a tree. And Steph, my wife at that time, was kind of far away. She was at the baby graves, and she was with other people. We never investigate alone, like they showed in that show. And all of a sudden, she just, I guess, looked at Katie and said, "Oh, my God, Jerry, we got to get back there," you know. So they came running back and everything, and it was an incredible thing that happened that time. It was really incredible, and it was weird. It was really weird. So it was pretty cool.
Yeah, it is. Walcott's very good, and you get a lot of interaction. And I think that I can't wait for things to really take off later, you know. So it's going to be exciting, super exciting.
Right. It's going to be pretty good. It's you know, I think once we get the trees out of the way, I don't know, maybe it's trees that you know, that are doing it all. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, I thought it was really cool this weekend, and we did they did a really good job. You know, everybody and stuff. So yeah. So we'll see. Yeah. We'll see how it all goes and stuff. It should be a good time because we're going to be doing an event down there in October. Do you remember? Yep. Was it October 15th? 15th, I think it is. Yeah, that'll be a really good time. I'm excited for that. So I have an investigation tomorrow, which I'm super stoked about because we only get a few hours though. But that's okay. And we heard that it's very active and a lot of children voices, books fall off the shelf, and it's going to be pretty intense and interesting. So we're not allowed to say anything yet about it, but we're hoping they'll allow us to. And I hope we just get some good evidence for them, you know, see what happens. We're super, like I said, we're super excited. And we know that it's very populated in Native American, and it also they hear children talking and giggling a lot. So we'll see what happens. Is it in the cities here? Or? Not in the cities. It's in the countryside, like more of a little small town. And I just know that there used to be like an old school, and, you know, but I mean, like to me, I even said, well, you know, it has to be something from before that's causing this one particular building to have activity. Like I said, it's a new building, So it has, there was no tragic deaths or anything in this building. So I don't understand that part where they're saying there's giggling and anything. But the building across the way had the exact same thing. So I don't know if it has to do with the land itself, but we're going to be doing some research on it because I really want to narrow it down to see why it's so active with children and giggling and stuff like that. So we'll see what happens.
Well, if you need any help, let me know.
Yeah. So we're gonna be out there and doing some things, and I just think it's exciting. So yeah.
Yeah. Well, that should be really exciting. That's pretty cool. We don't have one till the 21st, and it's a house we've done quite a few times.
Okay.
And the last time, we call it the spider house because in the basement, spiders just get attracted to me.
Wow.
It's like they want to wrap all 8 legs around me and get it down. But anyway, so Bella's the spider winch that she usually sees them and she's like, stay still. And then she picks them off of me and stuff. God, really? I'm scratching right now. That's so gross.
Just to think about it. Oh, what about this weekend too? The ticks. It was crazy. The ticks were gross. I have to say, we were in the woods and there was lots of ticks. Lots of ticks. So, right. Yeah. I just think it's crazy. But yeah, spiders, yeah, I'll start itching too, Jerry, just saying.
Right. No, I hear you. So, let's see, what was I going to say? Oh, yeah, Steph had a blood-engorged deer tick on her scalp.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, not good.
We were talking memories. Remember, Steph, about how I would get the ticks all the time. Now this time, Steph got him.
Oh, my God. Russ with a C.
Yeah.
He was, like, sweating ticks.
Yeah.
We were there in that pizza place. They were just coming out of him like mad. It
Yeah.
was like, you're so gross, dude, get away, And he's like, ish.
Even the pizza place was saying, oh, you guys are leaving your ticks here?
Wow,
like,
ish to Bibble.
Just saying, ticks.
Exactly.
Got to be watch out for the ticks right now. Seriously.
Oh, yeah, ticks are bad. Oh, heck, one time Larry and I went walking in the woods up in Red Lake, and oh, my God, there was like so many ticks. He followed behind me, pulling them off. And I mean, it was constant, just constant. It was so gross. But he would just rip them right in half. Yuck.
Yeah.
You know?
Not good.
Yeah, I felt like getting a possum buddy at that time so they could eat them all off me. Yuck.
That's funny. Train the possum when it's real little so it could go around with you.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. Well, have fun at that investigation.
It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. So I hope they allow us to say something about it because it is a very popular place. So, yeah.
Exactly.
It works. So let's see what happens.
Yeah. Well, it looks like it's that time.
It is. It is that time.
That was a fast hour, I tell you.
It was.
Yeah. Well, thanks everybody for tuning in. Appreciate it. And you all have yourself a great evening. And we'll see you guys next week. And thank you, Sarge. Thank you, Para X. Thanks for for everybody listening and the new people in our chat room.
Yeah.
We appreciate it and
Welcome.
have yourself a great night.
Yeah. Good night.
Bye.